All right, and welcome. If just before we start, if you're wondering why maybe I look exactly the same, wearing the same clothes, same lighting, well, it's always the same lighting. If you're wondering why it looks exactly the same as the last video, it's because it is. Well, it's not the last video; it's a different video, but I filmed this straight away after the filming the last one, so that's why. Not that you probably cared anyway, but either way, you know now. But yes, as you can read by the title of this video, this is my Doctor Who Steelbook collection. Um, so I'm going to be quickly showcasing it to you and reviewing it, reviewing what it looks like, reviewing the designs, just essentially showing it off. Not so much a review of the season itself, although I can do that as well. You know, I was talking yesterday, or 5 minutes ago for me, about different ideas that I can do. Um, and that's certainly one of them. I will definitely do the reviews, absolutely. So let's get cracking. Let's not waste your time. Um, You pull the first one off. Again, as you can see, well, that's a normal Blu-ray, just a normal case. It's not a steelbook, but it's just there for continuity reasons. But yes, I do hope the screen isn't flipped. It shouldn't be. Um, so I hope you can actually read it. But either way, we've got the first one up here of season 1. So yeah, Doctor Who, the complete first season or series. Now, the artwork on them varies a little bit, like the old. That's like the Capaldi logo. I think this was released roughly around his era. It must have been. Um, it might say, but to be fair, I don't know. Try and find it. I'll just move the mic up a little bit. Is that no way? Yeah, it's okay. But yeah, it's good artwork. You know, I think the artwork on these are always really good. And the J cards as well. They really provide something good. And obviously a list of the episodes down here, all packed with special features. All Blu-ray as well. It does look good. The Blu-ray, because well, I did swap the discs around. So basically, there's little sort of ident. Do you call them idents? I don't know what they are, but about a year and a half or so ago, they did recently release. If I move my head, that set of series 1 to 4, and it was Blu-ray. And you probably think, well, we've already got those seasons on Blu-ray. Yes, we do, and I was confused about that myself. But it just upscales it better quality to maybe than the previous versions were. And there was a few issues with the previous Blu-ray sets. Something to do with the audio was a little bit delayed on them, I think some people were saying. So it just re-releases them and fixes the issues of the old ones. So basically, what I did is I took all the old standard sort of Blu-ray discs and replaced them with the newer versions, because I'd rather the newer versions be in the steelbooks because it just looks nicer. So it's all the discs in there. Get that one out the way. So yeah, a good set, good season, good first season. Again, with it being the first season, I don't really want to talk about the price because some of these I'll probably go into a bit later, but some of them I've ordered off Amazon as they've released. But some of them I've had to go in the past. It's a bit like the Blu-rays. I didn't get them all when they first came out. I started getting them around. What was the one? Which one did I get? Series. Which one did I pre? I'm just trying to remember which one I pre-ordered. Actually, pre-ordered. I think it might have been season 2 or Pertwee 1, something like that. But then I had to go on eBay and spend quite a lot of money to get the rest. And that speaks to my devotion, really. How much I invest in this program. So whenever someone tells me that, I'm this or that, just remember that I've probably spent more on certain people's eras, the Geordie era, than maybe that perhaps they did. On all of them, really. But I'm happy to. It's a show that I loved. So, yep, that's the first one out the way. If I was filming it on my phone, it would be better quality, but I can't showcase it and hold the phone at the same time, and I haven't got a phone stand. So it's stuck in 720p and it's a little bit grainy, but I'm sure you're not too complaining too much. Unless maybe you are, and then, well, again, I'm not sure what much I can do about that. But, we'll try and speed through it a little bit more. We're 5 minutes in, we've done one. Season 2, of course, again, another pricey one. Those earlier seasons are fairly pricey. Um, well, somewhat, but I'll get into that. Tennant's first season, which again, I'm not doing a review, but I did prefer the first season to the second season. Although I preferred Tennant's Doctor, he's my favorite Doctor. But yeah, I just felt this first season was a little bit more grounded. But again, we'll get into that when we do the reviews. Cyberman, Daleks. Again, that seems such an epic crossover. Like, it's a bit like fan wanky, isn't it? Oh, the Daleks and Cybermen. How have they not crossed paths before? It's like the ultimate. Well, I suppose they went the Five Doctors when but they weren't really meeting each other. Bit of a bitch fight in the finale, isn't it? But I loved that as a kid. The big meetup. There's and do you call them idents? I'm probably like butchering. I'm probably just completely wrong. I don't know why I'm calling them idents. What are idents? Can someone tell me? I don't know. Making a feel out myself. But yeah, see a bit more of the artwork. I'll keep trying to hold it up like this so you can get at least some idea of what it looks like. I know it's not the best quality on the StreamYard. But yeah, fantastic. Quite a lot of blues and a lot of reds on this one. I'm gonna open it, and again a little bit similar to the previous one. They've all got the picture of a doctor on it. In this case, it being colour blue. Of course, at the back of the steelbook, you do get the original image of you see the Doctor and Rose there in the background. So good stuff. We'll put that one away. Good. As we move on to series 3, a personal favourite of mine, probably my second favourite. After the fourth being my favourite, but we'll get to that. Now this was cheaper for some reason. It was quite a lot cheaper than the previous two, but I'm not sure why. But it just was. I'm certainly not complaining. Of course, 2007. We're going back for this one. Doctor and Martha. Of course, Weeping Angels, John Sims Master, TARDIS. Again, all the episodes down the side here. David Tennant, free Matt John. Good season, this one. I really like the season. There's a lot of good stories. Well, there's always good stories, but the third and the fourth season, I think, really picked it up with the quality of the scripts. Again, I'm not even going to card, whatever you call it. Is that joke got old yet? I don't know. Yep. So we open it up. Well, actually, yeah, a little bit more, I guess, on the back. It's the same as artwork as it is on the card, but it just zooms it in on it a bit more. Again, with the pictures, picture the Doctor a bit orange. This background this time. Really good. Oh, there you go. I should do that as well. Really get both sides of it. I think these ones have still got the. I'm just checking it now. These ones have still got the Capaldi logo. The first 3 seasons or series, whatever you call it, same thing. All have the Capaldi logo or the sort of classic Doctor Who logo. Same thing, near enough, isn't it? Same design, roughly. But it does change with the next one. My favourite series of Doctor Who, series 4, and as you can see, we've got the Geordie logo, which isn't a personal favourite of mine, but it's come to the point now where I've kind of detached that logo from her era, even though it's her logo, but they've continued it. Like, I recognise that logo now for the Steelbooks, like as it was here, and for the Blu-rays, because all these Blu-rays here all have her logo on it, so I now recognise it more for that really than her own era. So that's how I look at it. But yeah, of course, the Doctor and Donna, and then Davros, Daleks. And of course, look at all those stories there, Midnight, Silence in the Library, Forest of the Dead, Journey's End, Turn Left. Some good stories. 2008 was a really peak year. Yeah. The cards again. So we open it up. Same thing with the discs. Or the picture on it. And there we go. We'll do that as well. Do that again. Get a good look. Series 4, impeccable. really. It was like I don't know what was going on with Russell at that point, but he was really. They were everyone was working. I mean, everyone. I imagine people were working incredibly hard anyway, but there was just something about that this season that was just impeccable. They really went out with a high. Such a bluff, so much nostalgia for all those eras, but yes, and it just gets better. It just gets better. Probably might be my favorite steelbook out of the lot. Actually, it is. Um, I like the detail in this one. Again, again, like I say, it's a bit hard to pick up on the detail with the quality of the streamer. It's only 720p. It's not a 4K camera, but God, we could only hope. But the next one we've got up is the 10th Doctor 2009 stroke 10 specials. Again, you can sort of see the sort of glowy, just about see the glowy regeneration effect. In the back, the Master, Rassilon, Wilfred, the Ood, the Flood, Captain Adelaide Brooke. I've got these specials and something else as well. Waters of Mars is probably hands down my favourite Doctor Who story of all time. There's the card again. It's just I don't know what it is. It's something special about the David Tennant era that just really gripped me. Really grounded stories. And the discs. Again, so good artwork on this one. I really like, especially on this side, all the blues. And again, it's a bit hard to see, but hopefully you can still get something from it. Really, really good. This era, the first Russell T Davies era in general. Really solid stuff. And then we make the transition. Over to Series 5. Again, this one's got some good detail in it as well. A lot of the painting of the Vincent van Gogh's painting of the flowers and was it the stars? Burning stars looking like sunflowers. A lot of the green there, beautiful. And even on the back, there's a lot of again. You don't really see the colours too much. Sorry, but again, it's lots of detail there. Really, really good. And a good season as well. It was the first of the Moffat era. It's a card. First of the Moffat era, and I think probably his first season was probably his best. I think it sort of went a little bit pear-shaped, and it went a little bit downhill in Series 6. The discs are different because these are the sort of the old regular Blu-ray discs for Series 5. So the discs will look a little bit different to the previous ones. But yeah, Series 5. Again, a good strong season. 2010, man, that was 15 years ago now, isn't it? Yeah, 15 years ago. I remember watching all this live. Time flies. Time certainly does fly. Let's move on to Series 6. And again, not my strongest of seasons. There was a plot thread about River, but it went a bit complicated, and I don't think it quite know what it wanted to be. It just didn't have the same. I mean, the Series 5 was whimsical and a bit, fantasy, because we did see a lot more fantasy and whimsical elements. Not magic, but that kind of vibe, if that makes sense, in the Moffat era. It was much more fairy tale and all that. If you get what I'm trying to say there. And I just don't think Series 6 really, it just didn't feel quite the same as Series 5 did, in my opinion. But again, still some good stories in this one. The Doctor's Wife, good complex as well. There's a card. Definitely some good scratches the mic there. Sorry. Definitely some good stories. Yeah, and A Christmas Carol I think is part of this season as well. So I never used to like that Christmas special as a kid, really, but definitely grown more of it now as I've gotten older. As the back again, decent season. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't my favorite. Probably the probably my least favorite of the Smith era, if I'm being totally honest. Series 7. Series 7, a sort of mix between Series 5 and 6. It sort of I don't know, the first half of series 7 with I say half, how many episodes was it? The first sort of part, series 7A, I think it was they were calling it, weren't they? Series 7A with Amy and Rory somewhat continued from series 6 and that vibe. But then as soon as Clara came along, it kind of went a little bit back to being grounded again and sort of there was slightly less whimsical elements and the vibe did change slightly. Um, which again I liked because I prefer it slightly more grounded. I just preferred series 7 to series 6. I think it sort of recaptured a little bit of that series 5 vibe that I needed. And of course, it was strong, impeccable performance from Smith. And there's a card. And of course, it's last season, really. His last season, but it's probably one of his best. Yeah, of course. The discs, some good detail on these ones because I would say that I do wish on the previous versions or on series 1 to 4, I do wish the discs were a little bit more individual. Like these ones have got different pictures on it rather than all having the same picture of the Doctor on it. But it's not. It's a small gripe. It's not a big thing. Making sure you can see it. Yep, some good detail on this one. God, yeah. Do you remember the Statue of Liberty? Maybe not the Weeping Angel's finest hour, but hey ho, we move on. Again, more good designs. Again, they're all good designs, even for the seasons that maybe aren't as my favorite, or maybe it's just for the seasons that I didn't like maybe as much as others. They've all got fantastic designs. Um, I don't know if I know Lee Binding does all the artwork for these ones. I don't know if he did it for these ones. Although I imagine maybe he might have done. I wouldn't know. I'd have to probably check unless it says. But yeah, 50th anniversary specials. Of course, I think it does include the name of the Doctor, the day of the Doctor, the time of the Doctor, and adventure in time and space. So yeah, there's a bit of and then lots of like bonus features. I mean, goodness, I mean you can see it there. All that is bonus features. Um, so yeah, some good again, amazing designs on all of these. Really good collectors. Good for collecting. The card, J card. Another little thing you'd slip it in as a J card. I don't know the idents. Yeah, any of the discs. Good. Matt Smith, done with him now, and he was certainly a favourite of mine. And I grew up watching all of his era, really. So we move on to the Capaldi era, Series 8. Quite a lot of purple on this one. A good, solid season. I'm a bit back and forth. I think it's uh, Series 8. I'm a bit back and forth about whether Series 8 or 9. I feel like I leaned towards Series 8 more than Series 9, but getting the card there. Definitely some strong episodes. Flatline. For just looking the back here, actually. Deep breath. Okay. Into the Dalek. Yeah, I quite enjoyed. Listen. Yeah, that was quite good. Time Heist as well. Quite underrated. Time Heist, I think. Caretaker. Bit silly. Um, Kill the Moon. Mummy on the Orient Express. Fantastic. Flatline again. Grace in the Forest of the Night. All the kids running around in a forest. Yeah, it was. It was some good, strong ones, and then some, filler episodes that you just sort of don't really want to waste your time with. Um, and some good. I like the discs on this one as well. Lots of blues, and lots of purples. Very good indeed. Um, this one again, it's rather affordable. This one, I don't know if it's just because it's of a you know particular era that maybe wasn't as popular as the Tennant era, should I say? Um, I think it's literally only 30 or 40 quid, which is compared to the earlier ones, it's a bargain. Ah, yes, of course. No, I don't have Series 9 because Series 9 on Steelbook is notoriously rare. It's got to be the most rare out the lot. I don't know why, because it's Series 9. Again, you would have think maybe Series 1 or 2 or 4, maybe a more particularly popular um, series. Um, not that not that I'm saying Series 9 is not popular or terrible, but it's just of all the seasons, I would have thought if there was a season that would be hard to get, I would have thought it'd be maybe one of the earlier ones. So yeah, Series 9 is, and honestly, if you see it on eBay, it can go up for like £600. It's ridiculous. Um, I do have, I obviously have a copy of Series 9. I do have it on Blu-ray, but it's just in the standard box. Like over there with the other Blu-rays. It's not in Steelbook, but so yeah, so that explains why Series 9 is missing. I know some people have like 3D printed Steelbook, so they've, which is, I don't know, I don't have the tools to do that, but yeah, Series 9 notoriously difficult to get hold of, extremely extremely rare, very expensive. So we'll have to move past that one. But we do have Series 10. Um, and again, the logo is a little bit different because this obviously would have been released probably just after the season came out. Um, Artwork of Bill there. It's all very like a painting. It's very interesting. Very good. Good strong season, Series 10 as well. Oh yeah, got some cards there. You won't be able to see it. His eyes open and close. It's one of those things where if you turn it and move it, it changes. It's really cool, actually. Don't think it'll work on camera though, but you get the idea. But yeah, Series 10, thoroughly enjoyed Series 10. I like Series 8. I liked how, again, it was a bit grounded. Series 9 went a little bit too far to try and like liven up the Doctor, make him not as miserable or gloomy. And I think Series 10 found the sweet spot. I like Series 10. I feel like we could have, like, Rabbi says it all the time, but I feel like we could have had a few more seasons of Capaldi. We missed like two. I mean, they took a year off, didn't it? It would have been great. Imagine that if we could have had a season of Capaldi where he was just on his own. He wasn't with Clara. It was just different. It was on his own, having his own adventures. Have a season, and then he meets Bill or something like that. Just a bit longer with him. It was just getting really good. Again, the discs are, again, we're going back to the discs all being the same, but again, it's a small gripe. It's just the disc, isn't it? It's the episodes you want. But again, I like this. I like the contrast of one on each side. Very good. That I like it a lot. I like it a lot. And yeah, I mean, again, it's not a steel book. It's just a sort of regular case, but it's 4K. I wish Doctor Who was releasing in 4K. The most recent era is being filmed in 4K. It's got all the new cameras. Um, so I don't know why there isn't a 4K release. Of course, I know this came out in 4K. I don't know if this didn't particularly sell well. I imagine that I probably attribute that due to it being 2017. I don't believe 4K was really a big thing in 2017. It was still sort of in its infancy. A little bit like in sort of like late 2000s, early 2010s, Blu-ray wasn't still like massive yet. So I suppose maybe people didn't have many 4K players. Because again, you need a 4K TV with an ultra HD Blu-ray player, or like a decent PlayStation, high speed HDMI. Yeah, so you need quite like a few things just to be able to watch it. The entry point is getting all the stuff. But yeah, so it's not a steelbook, but it's up there because just for continuity reasons to fit in. But yeah, so it's there. Um, right, you know, and yeah, we move into the Jodie era. Not my particular favorite era of Doctor Who at all. If you know me and have ever watched any stream I've ever been a part of, we've all criticised this era to hell. But despite the fact that it's an era that absolutely did not like, I purchased all the steelbooks, and again, her two out of her three steelbooks, because she had 3 seasons, series 11 and 12 were quite expensive. So again, for anyone coming at me about I didn't give her a chance or I didn't or I'm not fair on her, I've probably spent enough on Harry, probably more than the fans who even liked it. So there's that. Um, but again, I'm not reviewing the episodes. I'll give a quick little summary. But yeah, as a top design, it's a nice interest. It's okay, I suppose. There's not as much going on as the previous ones, but it's, you've got a nice silhouette of her standing in the TARDIS in the background. So I guess it's something. Again, not as much artwork on the back. Um, you've got more like pictures and screen grabs of particular parts of the episodes rather than a nice artwork. So again, I'll not probably knock it for that. I prefer having the artwork, but it is what it is. A card there. I believe there's like, if I move that one out the way, is collector's cards as well. I believe Series 2 has got some collector cards. Just like Series 10 did there when I showed you a moment ago. Again, we've made a bit of a return to the same discs, but again, it's a small thing. I don't even know why I'm still mentioning it. And there you go. You got Doctor on one side, and then Ryan and Yaz and Graham. I even had to think about Ryan there. I don't even the actor doesn't even know what his own character was called. That's hilarious. Now a much better one this time, as we've got more artwork. Sacha Dhawan's Master, which again I did like his Master. He's probably one of the better things about this era. I did like his Master a lot. So again, more artwork, more colour this time. And again, more artwork on the back, and just a little bit more. You could have subtlety, I suppose. The previous one was quite subtle, but I prefer to have the artwork on it. It's a steelbook. There's a reason why people buy a steelbook. It's you could just get the Blu-ray or the DVD if you really wanted to, but you get the steelbook because it's a collector's thing. It looks nice on a shelf. Put some artwork on it. Got some collector's cards there. Again, same discs, but no biggie. And then there's both sides. So yeah, a better design. Was it a better season? It was for the first 5 episodes, and then it went a bit downhill after that. So because of that, I probably do prefer series 11. But I mean, yeah, not by much. But probably her best season, and coincidentally her shortest. Series 13, or Flux as they called it. They didn't really want to give it 13, Series 13, did they? Because it was all kind of one story made up of individual stories. Again, a little bit of artwork, a little bit like Series 11. There's not as much, a little bit different than like, you haven't got all the episode count laid down there. No, just checking that. But again, it's a nice image. It's kind of like she's been painted on, and a bit glitchy. It's like a lot of pinks and purples. Interesting. No card this time, unless it's inside. We'll find out. If I can open it. Yep. So you got the cards. Ah, yes, I remember now, because you got all the cards on that side. Because it was literally a short season, 6 episodes. I think it only needed like 2 discs. Is there only 2 discs on it? Yeah, 2 discs. So there's the inside, and then there's the outside. Yeah, short season, but again, it was the best one. She went out somewhat on a high. But of course, it didn't just end there. She did have one more steelbook, which I've literally just remembered. Again, 2 discs, but the Series 13. Well, they're actually calling it Series 13 now. The specials. Again, quite a lot of colour on this one, which is again what you want from a steelbook. Again, same sort of layout. You'll notice how as soon as you get into the Jodie era, the back is a little bit different to the rest. Decent artwork there, I suppose. This one actually does have the episode titles there, because again, there was only 3, which was Eve of the Daleks, yeah, a bit forgettable. Legends of the Sea Devils, forgettable. And then Power of the Doctor, which again is probably her best story and also her last. So I don't know, it was a lot of nostalgia bit on the last one, member berries and all that. But like, at least it went out on a high, actually. It was, I generally mean that. It was probably her best episode. Um, Again, no card, but it's kind of put there on the side, unless there is one behind that. No, I don't think so. Oh, slightly different discs. One a bit minimalistic, and then there's one there at the back. There's the both sides. So, well, at least she went out on a high, I suppose. Good last story. And here we move into, of course, the RTD2 era with the 60th anniversary specials. They were then back as the 14. Well, he's not. He's back, but he's not back as the 14th Doctor. He's back as he's back as the Doctor, but as the new 14th Doctor. Otherwise, he'd be back as the 10th. But yeah, he's back as a new Doctor. Again, the sort of following suit, from the previous. I suppose it's because these are all modern steelbooks. These aren't steelbooks of like previous seasons. Because again, all those seasons like 1 to 4, they weren't released as steelbooks when they first came out. Obviously, steelbooks went, or Blu-ray and steelbooks went a thing in 2005. So, yeah, they were released afterwards. So yeah, these are all sort of modern steelbooks. These are sort of just released when the episodes or were all released on physical media. So yeah, lots of good designs on this one, pinks and purples. He looks a bit funny on that one, doesn't he? Yeah, a bit of a bit, fat, full of face. We've got some card there. I think that's like a product thing. There's things in there you could buy. Have a look. Ah, yes, it's different discs on this one. They are a little bit of variety. Only 3 specials, of course, so you only need to do 3 discs. Although it's interesting, if the previous season only had 6 episodes and they have 3 discs, I suppose it's for all the special features. Maybe that packed on it. There's the back. Again, I enjoyed the 60th anniversary for the most part. Definitely some small gripes with it. Wild Blue Yonder, I'd really enjoyed. Star Beast probably the weakest out of the 3, but I still actually went away from that having enjoyed it. And of course the not the giggle. Oh yeah, it was the giggle. I thought it wasn't called the giggle. I don't know where I got that from, but yeah. So the 60th anniversary, I enjoyed for the most part. There is another Blu-ray disc, but the episode in there is on this anyway. So yeah, on the most recent Steelbook that's been released, I believe. Of course, it's the most recent season, season 1. Again, I don't know why they called it season 1. They could have just called it season 14. But I get it and I don't get it, because obviously they're trying to appeal to the American market, and then if they're putting it on Disney Plus, it's just going to confuse the hell out of people. All the Americans are thinking, "Huh? Why did it say the 60th anniversary? And why did it say season 14? Where's the other 13 seasons?" So to avoid that issue, just rebrand it season 1. I suppose I get it, but then I don't get it, and it's appealing and changing the show just to appeal to another market. But again, it's neither here or there. But shooty on this, Millie on this side, shooty on that side. And again, I enjoyed this season again for the most part. There's a card. I did. I honestly did. There's a lot of things that I did enjoy, and there's a lot of things I didn't enjoy. Boom and 73 yards were my favourite. I absolutely love Boom. But then stories like Rogue and Dot and Bubble, I mean, I didn't like Rogue. Probably Rogue was probably my least favorite out of the entire season, to be honest. Wasn't particularly keen on Maestro. Met the distinction of saying Maestro, not Jinx. Although I don't particularly like Jinx as an individual either. But again, we won't go there. But Yeah, I even like the Devil's Code more than Rogue. I just didn't think the Doctor was very doctory in that one. He just, yeah. I mean, we'll get into the review maybe one time, but yeah, discs are the same. But again, like I say, I keep saying it, but it's not small. It just really is a small gripe. Um, Again, good artwork. Again, all of it. Group colors. Is the back different? The back's slightly different. Put this little leaflet thing back in. But yeah, we're just waiting for the second season now. They've just announced the writers for the second season today. I'm not quite overly impressed, but again, a different video for a different day. Now we're going to go. These ones are a little bit interesting because, of course, we've caught up now with all the seasons. So these ones are all different. Um, Doctor Who, the Daleks in color. These was the colorization they did for the Daleks. Again, I wasn't overly impressed. A lot of it was cut. The colorization was okay. Um, I didn't like the editing of the music. There was a lot of weird music. There's a scene where it's somewhat relaxed that turns into a really big like action. It's like a calm scene, but then like there's really weird like high action tense music going on in the background. It doesn't really fit. And they've just sort of redone this colorization of the war games, and that's coming out in Steelbook. I mean, I probably will get it as a sort of Steelbook completionist collector. I don't know. I haven't even watched the war games in color because I've seen some of the I've seen what they did with the regeneration. I don't know. I didn't like some of it, but some of what I've seen. But I don't know. I mean, yeah, there was no card in that one. But yeah, it's sort of some good designs in this one. It's all wavy, Dalek, and of course the original TARDIS crew. Can open it there. I do believe you get the colorization and the original black and white DVD. It would have been slightly cool. I suppose it's asking too much. Um, as getting them to do a sort of Blu-ray of the original black and white version, but look, probably they never said they would do that. And to be fair, they probably would just do that for the Blu-rays. In fairness, so I'm not making a big deal out of that at all. By the way, I don't expect them to to have a Blu-ray version of the original black and white story. Yeah, there's the back and there's the front, both sides. Good, good. There, the next one. Got some Galaxy 4. So from now on, really, we're going to be going into sort of the animations steelbooks. So you got Galaxy 4, a story I always found somewhat quite interesting, with the planet that's ruled by only women, and the men are used for like what was it, breeding, and that was it. Good, good. Again, when it comes to the animations, I always usually watch it in black and white. I never really watch it in color. Although I suppose I could. It'd be one interesting one time, but it'd feel weird. It'd feel like binge watching. If you're doing a marathon of all 62, but for continuity's sake, you've got to watch it in black and white. I feel a bit jet what I'm saying. But yeah, there's the disc. There's only one disc, I think, and there's the sides, the front and the back. It looks quite good when you stretch it out like this. It makes like a really nice picture, doesn't it? Good, good. I hope they continue with the animations. Because again, it's the likelihood that we're going to find all the stories again is very slim. So the best thing to do now is just animate them. At least that way we can still watch those missing episodes. It gives us a new way to watch it. Now the story that I'm very glad they animated, the Celestial Toymaker. No, I quite enjoyed this story when I listened to it for the first time, and it's a story that you really want to watch because it is very visual. it's kind of like that's the thing with it because it's on audio, so you can experience the story, but it's a very visual episode and very visual story. So you kind of have to see it. So I'm very glad they animated it. I imagine it's quite difficult actually because again, if it's very visual, how it's not much to go off. You really need to go off sound, don't you? So it's hard. I know people didn't like the animation style. I'm not. I probably didn't like it. I know I can't remember. I'd have to go back and see what my reaction was when it first announced. I think I was okay with it. I'm not too sure. Either way, I'm okay with it. I haven't really watched it though, actually. Um, I have to give it a try. But yeah, the animation style was different. It's like more 3D and stuff. Um, but yeah, very good though. Very good story. But yeah, like I say, I am very glad they animated it. Always happy to see more animations announced and released. I think they're doing the Smugglers right now. I think that's the next one to come out. I'm glad they're doing more Hartnell ones as well because we've been getting a lot of Troughton because I know Troughton actually has more missing episodes, so it makes sense to do Troughton. But you think Hartnell has only got what Galaxy 4, Celestial Toymaker. Oh, and I think the Reign of Terror is an animation on that. On some of the DVD ones, same like the Moon Base, things like that. There's a few, but Troughton has the majority. But yeah, speaking of Troughton, the Underwater Menace. Now, as a story, I don't think it's the strongest story, but again, I've only watched it once. Um, Not this, the original version. Um, and then listened to the I don't know how many episodes are missing from that one. I'm not quite sure. Maybe one or two. But yeah, a decent story, okay. But I think the premise, I mean, the artwork is much more interesting than I think the actual story. It looks so cool with all being underwater. I wish we had more sort of underwater sort of stories. It's a really interesting premise. You could do so much, like an alien ocean world. That'd be such an interesting, thing for them to do. I know the second season isn't it? For Shooty's second season, there's a story called 5 Miles Down or 5 Miles Deep or something like that, or something like that. Something to do with depth. So that'd be quite interesting if that was to do something, being underground or being underwater. Same discs, same as the artwork, really. Getting really, really good artwork on this one. I really do like it. All the underwater theme. Lots to like. Lots to like. We're getting to the end now, actually, roughly. I think how many we've got left? We've got 3 left. Well, there's actually 4 more Steelbooks up there, but one's Event Horizon, which isn't Doc 2. But yeah, Doc 2, The Evil of the Daleks. Again, I've watched the original story for the episodes that were there and listened to the rest. Again, I haven't seen this. When I go through all the when I rewatch the classic series, I will definitely rewatch these animations that I haven't seen. So definitely will be getting around to that. No card. I think all the cards are inside for these ones. Yeah, pretty much. The Doctor and Jamie there, the Dalek Emperor. Good. I believe this next one is a fairly recent one. Well, 2022. The Abominable Snowman. Again, Troughton wearing that big brown fairy coat is quite iconic. And the Yeti. Set in Tibet, this story, isn't it? I do remember quite liking the story when I did experience it for the first time. I say experience because again, you watch some of it, and then you listen to the rest of it. Oh, cards outside this time. But yeah, good one. Good one. I think to match we'll put the card back in just so it matches the rest. There's a bit of a dent there, actually. Oh, don't know what that's all about. Actually, probably put that back in there. Won't seem to fit or close very well. I was going to say there must have been a reason why I left it like this in the first place, isn't there? So, stuck on my trousers, playing havoc. Right, and then we've got one more. They've released this one a fair few times now, I think, for various reasons, I think. But the Web of Fear. The Web of Fear, it's had like two releases on like DVD. There was the like I don't know if they changed the animation. There was episode 3 or it's quite a history with the story. They apparently they found all the story, found all the episodes, and then just before they were shipped to go back to the BBC, they episode 3 or 4 went missing. I know the animation for I think was it for one of the stories or for one of the episodes or for all of them was a bit people didn't maybe like it as much. Um, I don't know. Again, I haven't seen much of these animations. I've just collected these steelbooks. When it comes to the animations, I haven't really seen them or watched them. Yeah, that's it. You know, with this, you probably might recognize that picture. Because I'm sure they released it like twice. I can't remember. Of course, yeah. You know, the bonus is that you get all these in color and in black and white, so you definitely get the choice. Oh, forgot to do that. I think I forgot to do it with the rest of them too. But yeah, that is all my steelbooks for Doctor Who. Like I said, there is one more, but um, that's right. I still multiple times from various streams that I was in the background, so now you get to see a bit up close. And I'll probably do the same for these guys up here. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. I certainly enjoyed making it, showcasing you all the different steelbooks, and hope there'll be many, many more to come. Because again, they do look really nice with all the different colours along the spines. When you line them up nicely, it does look good. They are very presentable. So yeah, thank you for watching this video. If you did like it, please do leave a like. If you didn't like it, then you can certainly dislike it. And thank you for watching, and I hope to see you all very soon. Thank you. You're gonna press the button. You're gonna press the button. Is it gonna do it? We're waiting. You can either click. It's it's not what. Oh, there you go. The screen's popped up now. Is it gonna work?